Hey guys, welcome back to another Moondog trading video. Tonight's video, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic, Cardano, Solana, SHIB, Doge in that order. And first, we're going to start here on the Bitcoin. Actually, we're going to go to the daily chart. Right here's the weekly chart, but we are going to go back to that weekly chart in a minute. First, I do want to apologize to you guys. I didn't make a video in the last 11 days, which is the longest I ever went on my YouTube channel. I haven't had this channel for too long. But we had a little, I had a little 19 incident. I can't really say it on YouTube because they'll ban this video. So that's all I can say about that. I do apologize, a little bit under the weather there, guys. But we are back, and we're doing things. It's a Sunday. The week's about to start. My last video we talked about bouncing off that 28 and trying to make a run right up here. Right up here, my first box of concern, which we got up into that box. And then we talked about maybe potentially breaking that, filling the gap on the futures chart around this 35 to 36 area. But at the time when I made the video, my last video 11 days ago, we talked about, because, I think it was May 22 video, May 22nd video. Yeah. That video I talked about, we were over here bouncing off that 28, going up, maybe clearing this area and testing that 35. But then when I did the last video I did 11 days ago, we were right at this peak, guys. Right here when I was doing the video, we were actually peaking at this time. And I drew that fib up, which I ended up erasing, but I drew that fib up. You guys can just check out my last video I did. And I said, oh, no, this doesn't look good. And, I didn't, at that moment, I was concerned that we weren't going to fill this gap. But either way, we talked about, even if we came up here coming down and going lower, I didn't think that this was the low. I didn't think the low was in. And I showed you guys basically why I didn't think the low was in. And we're going to go back and look at this chart here. This is the distribution chart. And as you can see here, if we just go ahead, this is, I believe, on Bitstamp. So we're going all the way back because Bitstamp started trading Bitcoin all the way back in 2011. If you go on Coinbase, I think it's a little different, but we're going to look at Coinbase as well. Also, the MACD here. Look, we were still fighting this MACD, so that'll continue to cross as long as Bitcoin's below 46,000. So that's pretty obvious there, right? But let's just go ahead and let's mark down the lows, the macro lows, guys, for this cycle. Okay. So we got one here, right here. That was the 19 cycle, guys. I can't say it. So that was the, actually, no, that was, the 19 was back here. This was the dump on March. And then we had this dump back here, a low back here. Hold on. Let me see if I can zoom in. Now we're talking macro lows, the lows that we're in. Okay. We're just going to mark that right there. And we're going to go ahead and drop that right there. Then we're going to go back even farther. We're back testing now. Let's see. We're going back. Low right here. Okay. This was when Bitcoin was at $152. Congratulations if you bought it then. All right. We're just going to use these examples right here. Now, you can see what happens, guys, on this chart. When this starts to fold down, you can see, I mean, even though it did come down a little bit more, let's go ahead and just take a look on, it consolidated down there at these lows. So it kind of stayed at that level. Well, actually, no, it went up about $50 from that level. But you could see how when we always made a macro low, you could see this dip, right? You can see this dip. We're just starting this right now on Bitstamp chart. Now, this is a little bit different on Coinbase, and I'll show you what it looks like on Coinbase. But if we could draw just a trend line like this, guys, right? A little trend line, maybe, like that. Maybe we just come down to here and we go a little bit lower than that 25. And we'll go to that in a minute. What do I got here? Do I have anything on Bitstamp? I don't think I do. So we're going to go to Coinbase real quick. Okay. I just wanted to show you this chart, guys, because this is why I didn't think the low was in yet. And a good friend of mine showed me this. So let's see here. But this was a long time ago. But we talked about not getting the low in before I even looked at this chart. We were looking at other indicators as well. And then this kind of just caught my attention. Let's see Coinbase. Here we go. Now we drew some fibs. This is a little bit ugly. But if we zoom in, look how good our fibs have worked. And look at where my area, my last line of defense, that 21,913 to that 19,891. But we also got this area right here where we actually fell into. In my box, we had this already, and that was that 25,300 area, and then anywhere from that 26 to 24,200 area. Okay, this was the area. If this folds, then we'll be looking down here for that bounce, and we'll be looking at this indicator. You guys can see it here. Now you see on Coinbase how I drew these two lines here because it doesn't go at an angle. We don't have this like this. We don't have this going like this. It goes straight across on Coinbase. Why? Because the prices are different, guys. It moves different. So if we're looking at this, let's go ahead and just mark the bottoms on Coinbase to kind of see where the lows were in here. Okay, right here, boom. Right here, right. Let's see. No, that was the low right there. All right, so let's just check that out real quick. And what do we got? Well, you always see it getting close to the bottom, but right before it does that curve. So you see a little bit of accumulation. So you see the bottom and then a little bit of accumulation down here at the bottom of the peaks. Then when it starts to curve up, guys, we're going to mark that curve up. The first beginning of that curve, we're going to start right there. We'll make that white. Okay. We're going to start over here. Make that white. Okay. And we're going to see what happens. Look at that, guys. The first monthly candle. Each candle represents 1 month. It went from 3,400 all the way up to almost 14,000, guys. And then, of course, look at this one. It went from 8,000 all the way up to 69,000. Okay. So what we want to look for in the bottom is we just basically want to see this indicator right here. Okay. This is what it's called. Accumulation distribution indicator. Okay. All we want to see is this start to flip to the upside. Okay. That's what we want to see, guys. We want to see this flip to the upside. And that's what we're looking for here. That's what I'm looking for, guys. All right. So wait for this to bottom out. If you don't catch the bottom exactly, well, we do have some levels. So if you do see this starting to flip up and we hit these levels down here, that would be the time. And guys, I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I say is just my opinion, educational purpose only. But that would be what I'm looking for when we talk about hitting bottom. Like I told you guys, when this 25 came in, I didn't think that was bottom. I thought we could pop up higher, which we did, but then that failed, and now we're coming back down. I think we'll get a little bit lower. Is there a time frame on that? No. Could we trade sideways and then get a little bit lower? Yes. But the way things are moving right now, this could happen this week, guys. Listen, I underestimated how fast this was going to move down. So for me, these 3 months have been just boom, boom, boom. It's just been getting hammered. So, we could see a fast movement. We could hit this bottom we could hit that $21,000 or $22,000 mark by this week. I wouldn't be surprised. It depends how things go. Now let's move on to how much time do I have here? We're at 9 minutes. So let me see, because we've been spending a lot of time on Bitcoin on the daily. Let's see. The stochastic will continue to flip to the downside. Okay, RSI is not looking good. Momentum is moving up, while stochastic is moving down. That means based on these indicators, you can see flipping up here. Based on these indicators, guys, it looks like we're going to get some more downside here. Okay, so don't be surprised if we test this 25 again. Is there anything that we can get a little bounce off? Maybe right here. Maybe right there around that 25,700 area. Maybe around that area where they almost bring it to the low and then try to bounce it back one more time and then bring it lower. That could be a possibility as well. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you guys. The weekly. This is another thing, guys. This is big. I can't believe I didn't start off with this, guys. This is terrible. The 200-day moving average, guys, right here, coming in right around 22,288. Okay. Now, this could just continue to go sideways and up a little bit from here, but we won't probably see much movement there. But yes, that is another thing to look for, guys, on a bounce. Okay. You can see the bounce happening right here. We did wick it during the sickness time right here. Okay. But you can see back here when we hit our low, it held good as support. So we want to see something similar to that, maybe hold that as support. If not, then yeah, we could see that $20,000 level, or that 21,900 level. That could be a possibility if it does wick and then pop back up. But the main thing is, guys, is we want to see if we get the weekly close under there, the very next week closing back above this 200-day. If that doesn't happen, then things can get really ugly. Okay. So, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for maybe a little bit of a wick or even touching this 200-day moving average on the weekly, and then maybe getting that bounce to the upside. Okay. Maybe a little sideways from here. I mean, who knows? This is right now I'm seeing more downside. So could it get more uglier? Yeah, of course. Of course it can. All right. So Ethereum's going to follow the same path. Same thing. We're on the weekly chart. Each candle represents a week. Right now, that weekly's coming in around $1,200. Okay. $1,200. Now let's pull up a fib real quick and see what we have from top to bottom. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see if we have anything that matches that area. Well, we actually do. We actually have the 786 coming in right around that $1,100 area. So could it wick to $1,100 and bounce back up? Yeah. Or could we come down to 630 if it gets really ugly and we do get something that scares the market really bad here, which would be around that $630 mark. Okay. So we have these two levels of concern right here. Boom, 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 right there. And then we have this level right here. If I can get it locked on. Let me see. No, I don't even want to use that lock. Just put it right there. Boom. Okay. So those are the levels that we'll be looking at for Ethereum. And to the upside, really, we can't get bullish again, guys, until we get some kind of weekly close above $2,000. I mean, to be honest with you, or at least 1916, something above there. Until then, more downside, maybe a bounce off this 200 upside. And that's what we're looking in right now. The 200-day moving average is coming in right around that $1,200 mark. So let's see if that mark is something special here for Ethereum. Matic, we had this already drawn out for you guys. We followed these fibs if they were going to the upside. We didn't get, obviously that didn't happen, right? We always have upside and downside targets, so we can erase that. Now, with that being said, on the weekly, I haven't made a video in a while. We hit that area here, boom, or hit that, got rejected. Got very, very close to the 67, and we got to 66. So we were a little bit off on that one. And then downhill. So what would I look for from here? Well, for pain here, I'm looking at that 46.9 to that 42.9. Okay. And then I think if I did a fib, where did it bring me to? Let's see. Let's just get a fib out. I think it was something like that, up to here, up to the high. Okay, right there. All right. And then what do we got? Let's zoom out here. Also this 35 area, guys. Ugh. Oh man. This is ugly. If everything gets really bad, that 35.6 would be something I'd be looking at for Matic. And am I looking at more downside? Let's look at the daily. Stochastic will continue to stay down as long as we're under that 58-cent mark, which currently we are. Momentum is moving to the upside on the BPW. Bearish divergence there. I mean, just everything is pointing to more downside, guys. I mean, that's just on the charts right now. Everything's pointing to more downside. Okay. Let's see. Let's go on to Cardano. We're going to look at the daily here. We had some of these levels drawn out here for you. So we're still looking at that 48 to 43. And then if it gets really bad, retesting this 30, what is that? That 38.3. But we do have a potential M pattern here. So we can draw up a target for that real quick. And if this happens, this could get really ugly, guys. Let's see here. Ugh, is that real? Anything to fall back on that? Oh man. So we're looking at like 29 cents. If we get a daily candle closing underneath I would say 45. Okay? If that happens, you'd want to see the very next daily candle closing back above there. Let's actually bring that up a little bit. Let's see where we would close. Right around that 29 mark, guys. Ugh. So that's the M pattern setting up there. If that plays out, then yeah. So let's look for a bounce off that 45 or even a wick to 43 and then close back above the 45 on the daily. So if it wicks down, if you're bullish, don't get too scared. And if you're bearish, then that's a good thing. But if don't get too scared. You want to see how the daily candle ends. If it ends above that 45.8, then we could see that thing hold up and start moving back to the upside. Solana, this broke our 34. This is looking terrible. Let's go to our fib. Let's pull this out. What do we got here, guys? We got 31. Oh, we got the 31 right now. We're right at the threshold, guys. If not, I mean, we could be looking at this area here anywhere from $19 to $16. I mean, that is rough. That is rough. Yeah, that is rough, guys. Is there anything I'm missing? No, that's it. So that's what I'm looking at for Solana. Let's see more downside. Stochastic, as long as they're under 40, that's not even close. Momentum's going to the upside. Stochastic is moving down. There is some things that are pretty low on these indicators. So let's see if that helps for maybe some upside. But right now I'm just seeing downside, guys. Shib Army. We were so accurate on this chart. And now if this 8 doesn't hold, guys, I would be looking for that 7 area to come in. And things are not looking good here, but things are pretty low also. So let's see if that can do something. Doge. What can we find here real quick, guys? What can we find on Doge? Let's go ahead and just pull a fib out. Let's see here. Let's pull one right now. Let's see. That was the high right there. Low right there. If I can get to lock on right here. All right. And we'll pull that to the high. Okay. And what do we got? Well, we have about almost 5 cents, 4.8. That would be where I'd be looking at on this fib right here. This area right there, that 4.8 area to the downside for some kind of bounce on Doge. Okay. So that's it for tonight's video, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you sub, hit the bell, hit the all. And guys, I do appreciate your patience. I do apologize for not making a video for 11 days. Hopefully that will never happen again. But things happen in life, guys. And, we'll all get through this together, even these rough times with the market and everything that's going on with inflation. The CPI report wasn't good. So things are just not looking good overall in all the markets. So just keep your head up, guys. And like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I say is just my opinion, educational purpose only. But much love to all you guys. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up. I appreciate you guys watching my videos, and peace out.